I look like a because of your inconsiderate parking.
In a world desperate to tear itself apart, only one man, and some other people, stand in the way of total destruction. Together they will right the wrongs, make bad, good, and single-handedly destroy evil, together. Who is this man, you may ask? This man is Geoff.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Geoff Jones and Friends Make It Better, the show that takes one of life's little annoyances, gives them a microphone, a guest, and a podcast, and the unwavering ego that you can make absolutely everything better. Today, I am more than delighted to be, double the guests today. It's Simon and Ross from the Who Takes the Socks Off podcast. Guys, how are we?
Very good, thank you.
I'm gonna throw it in really quickly that I've got a new chair, and I just realized that when I move it sounds like a fart. So if that pick and my microphone is pretty
you're
close
telling
to
us
it.
it's a chair.
I'm going to tell you it's a chair.
New chair.
Yeah, I don't just have terrible wind, or maybe I do. Guys, look, thank you so much for joining me. I've kind of listened to the podcast. I actually found you through a kind of a co-podcaster, little podcast community online that's kind of being generated as well, which is I'm very happy to be a part of. So yeah, I'm desperately delighted for you guys to be here. Very quickly, Simon, Ross, give me a rundown. Give everyone a rundown of your podcast.
Simon,
Do you want me to do it? Yeah? The host is handing over. Okay, so
you do it much better than me.
So the podcast is basically a bunch of friends who discuss the most random questions. Okay, it's a bunch of people who know each other who discuss the most random questions you've never thought of. So, for example, who takes the socks off of amputated feet? Why does NASA hate corned beef? Who took all the dicks and fannies out of books? And how did the author of The Human Centipede ever get his script past Hollywood?
So I've listened to the Human Centipede one, which even the beginning of the beginning of that one was one of the best. I don't want to ruin it, but it's actually one of my favorite opens to any podcast I've ever listened to. And I've always maintained the only two podcasts I really listen to are It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and the Bar Banter podcast, which is another independent
Travis
podcast.
and Co. Yeah.
Travis and Co. That's it. Oh yeah, you know Chris.
Yeah.
And now I am an avid listener of yours, mainly because that opening line of the Human Centipede episode, it was absolutely killer. But I also need to know what were the other two bits you said as well. There was
Who took all the dicks and fannies out of book?
Yeah. So the dicks and fannies out of
books. That's about the censorship of things that were from the good old days where you could say whatever you wanted.
Okay. But someone somewhere made a decision, they're out.
Some woke asshole changed it.
Yeah.
It's Enid Blyton books of all things, would you believe?
And you know what? I've just realised you didn't actually mean physical dicks and fannies. You meant the names Dick as in Richard and Fanny as in Francesca.
Faniel.
Faniel. Yeah.
Faniel.
Yeah. See, that just shows you how immature I am. That I went there, but no, it's because
there's a reason. I mean, there is a reason we called it that. I mean, it's not, we could have said, why did they change the name to Enid Blyton?
I was already thinking. This beep button's going to get a hell, but no, because it's done in a name function. So, in fact, I'm the only one that's used it in genitalia. There you go.
I went straight for the genitals as well, as I often do.
Straight to genitals.
Yeah. I had no idea what they were on about, and it took a while for the penny to drop.
I think the best straight to genitals you ever did was the waterfall episode.
Oh yeah.
The episode was why is it so expensive to visit the world's largest waterfall? And he went straight to porn.
I think I immediately made a joke about Adriana Chechnik squirting.
So I'm thinking Niagara Falls, right? But you're
no.
I don't even know Niagara Falls. What's the world's biggest?
Well, you have to listen. Can't give away secrets.
Oh well, look at that for a hook.
The answer will shock you.
The answer will surprise you almost as much as Ross going straight for squirting.
Yeah. Find out now why Ross went straight to squirting.
Because Ross always goes straight to squirting.
That was sinister, Simon. That was
sinister. Yeah.
Ross always goes straight to squirting.
I was going to say I've never had any complaints, but
yeah. Oh well, you got one. You've got one now.
The way you said it makes like there's nobody left afterwards to complain.
That's probably going to be the soundbite for the start of the episode as well. Just to pre-warn you on that. Right, Joey, we can sit here and talk about your podcast all night long, but that's not what we're here for. What is it? So we've got two. So we're going to have two. This is going to cut in half. We're going to make it a back-to-back, a double ender,
a DP,
yes, we're
double
going to
podcast. That's what I meant.
Oh, sorry, yes, double podcast. Yes, a DP double podcast. Where you guys?
Sure what you were thinking of that.
I was thinking of Ross and what is Ross. What is the first thing that we're going to make better today?
Mine is the general parking situation of my local big Tesco's. I've pulled up the satellite view of the car park of my local big Tesco's.
Okay.
And I can see now there is one person, two people immediately in this view that have parked like. Now,
sorry, I didn't mean to.
Carry on.
They have, okay, and do you record and distribute the video of this? Like, if I do a screen share, is it going to make it?
Do a screen share because I don't often, but I do.
Oh, you've disabled it, mate.
Oh, have I? Oh, I wouldn't have a clue how to get it
going. Oh, don't worry.
That's not right. I am intrigued as to.
Take my word for it. They've part like
the surveillance. Take a screen grab, send it to me, and I'll add it to it. I love that you have this surveillance at the ready of your local Tesco's.
This is actually the prep work that I've done for this episode. As Simon may have informed you, I'm not known for my prep.
Wow.
So the fact that I've even looked this up, I don't think this one's parked. I think they might be reversing out, but it looks bad, so I'm circling it anyway. But I mean, to be fair, this can go for most car parks in most shops, shopping centers, anything like that. Anything where there are lines for people to aim their cars and they just miss.
Yeah.
People parking over two bays, people parking within their bay, but so close to the line with their driver's side door that you then have to park like an hole at the other side of the bay that you need to go in. And then when you come back, they've off.
So you just look like you
now
look
I
like
look like a
yeah.
I look like a because of your inconsiderate parking. Now I am very lucky to be a father, so I have two children, 7 and 4. So I get the joy of using the parent-child, the privilege, or not actually, as the case may be, which is where this rant is heading, of using the parent-child bays at the local Tesco's. Now, the big issue I have is who decide to park there with no children.
Yeah.
Right? You get there and you drive up and down. You drive up. There's no spaces, none whatsoever. And you see some smug asshole come out of Tesco's, saunter over with their one bag or their massive trolley full of whatever.
Pasties.
They saunter over to their pasties and I don't know, special brew lager, which actually is surprisingly expensive now. But that's a rant for another day. They come over not a care in the world. They basically might as well be, I don't know, sticking their finger up at you while they walk over to the car,
Mm.
open the boot, take the longest time, putting the shopping in the car, reverse out, not a care in the. There's no kids in that car, not a single
No.
kid. They've come out on their
If
own
if they are, they're in
with
the
their
boot.
shopping. You've left your kid in the car the entire time you've gone shopping, if you've gone there, because there was no kid with them.
Yeah.
They weren't buried under all that in their trolley. Oh, getting a
Today,
bit worked up. I spat a little bit.
no, that's fine. That's what we're doing here. It's about getting the rage out. It's cathartic. I mean, look, I am right. First of all, I need to do a character because we do have international listeners. So I just need to a couple of things. So a big Tesco is so you've got the supermarket chain Tesco's for anyone who doesn't know. And there's different sizes. Oh, there's a lot less sizes, but you've got your big Tesco, which is sells
There's three, isn't there?
everything. Yeah, they've got
Yeah,
the extra, the
Metro
Metro,
and
and the
Express.
Express. And the Metro is the kind of little tiny little one. Or no, the Metro is
Express is
slightly
the tiny.
bigger.
The Express is like the convenience store.
Yeah,
The
you got your
Metro is like the.
cigarettes, your bread.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Metro
Um.
a little bit more,
Yeah.
and the extras. If you're in America, you'd be able to buy a gun there,
Yeah.
essentially. But over here, you can buy a crop
three,
top
three,
and some garden de-weeding kits.
three grapefruits, a whole side of elk, and an AK-47.
Yes, to
Yay,
go.
Walgreens.
So that's where we're at. And all of these places, so they're very conscious about accessibility and kind of equality. So what you'll have is, which this is what always baffles me though, Ross, is so you'll have obviously you've got all the parking for the normos. They're all
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
You've then got a fair amount for the
All the two legs.
parents,
Yeah.
and then you've got the disabled ones, which is
Yeah.
generally at least equal the amount of disabled versus parents.
Well, let me tell you now that ain't.
Oh no, your one isn't there.
No, right? Because I'm a sad, and this is my prep.
This part of your prep.
There are 16 parent-child bays, and there are 29 disabled
What?
bays. Yeah,
Where do you
yeah.
live that has all these disabled blue badge holders?
They're never in use.
Right, they're not. And right,
This is like half of the. I'd say a good half of the time, half of the bays aren't in use.
yeah. So you can give them out to the parents because more parents shop at Tesco. Okay, this is this is probably actually going to sound really bad as well because you've hit a very personal topic for me, right? After 9 p.m., parents and disabled bays become free for all.
Free for all, yeah.
Because kids should be in bed because it's like up to 12 years old, right? So kids should be in bed, certainly not rocking around Tesco's.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying disabled people should be in bed, but statistically, there's going to be less of them going to less disabled people. I've done diversity training for Canada. There would be less disabled people with blue badges in need of going to Tesco's and having a space, right?
Yeah, they're less likely to be doing the weekly shop at 9 o'clock on a Thursday.
Exactly, because as we all know, especially old people, they all go at lunchtime during the week when people are trying to nab a quick ginsters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What did you say, ginsters?
I did say ginsters, yeah.
Do you also say GIF instead of GIF?
Oh, is it ginsters? Is it?
Well, I mean that's how I've always said it.
Ginsters. I know. Well, I'm Geoff with a G, so essentially, I can say it however I want because I identify as a Geoff with a G. You see, and I don't get called Geoff unless it's from my bank who ask if I'm Mr. Geoff Jones.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long have you known me?
Actually, I've only been here 2 weeks, so
and I will not be here in 2 weeks' time.
I haven't met many Geoffs in my time here.
I'm the Geoff. So
yeah, the whole post 9 o'clock free for all. You know, I could give less of about. I'm not shopping with my kids, but people still park like holes.
Yeah.
But there's nobody in the car park, right? There's
Yeah.
nobody here. Why have you parked next to me?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it's like, I don't know, you're in a place with 30 urinals and you're having a piss, and somebody walks into the bathroom and thinks, you know, I'm going to go have a
This is
piss right
great.
next to that guy.
That looks comfortable.
Yeah, let's have a nice little cozy piss in the corner with that guy. Like, you just look across and you're like, there's 28 other unused urinals.
Right, wait,
Why are
so
you not at any of those?
a little insight into us. So when the gent is next to you, you then look across him
Oh,
to
yeah,
see.
I look through it. Oh, it's like, you know, I try and make it as obvious as possible that you're a psycho. You are a fucking psycho. You
See
know,
anything you like?
no, I can't see it.
No.
Oh dear,
I mean,
that's bad.
I get. Do you know what? The ones which annoy me the most, because don't get me wrong, we've all been there where you've tried to, I don't know, pull up. It's a busy Saturday. You pulled up and you tried to convince your kid to get out of the car with a limp because it's the only space in that sofa, right? Okay, no, never done it, never done it, but maybe because my kids won't limp. So, but what? Yes, you can get. What I'm saying is, there's some people that get away with it. And if there's all the spaces, oh, okay, I don't think it's right, but I'm gonna let those ones slide. It's when you get like a massive van and it's got like Dave's window cleaning and he's got ladders all over it and it's filthy. And you're like, look, there's no child in there. If there is, then it's probably a cover. But
Yeah.
there's like just park, but also your van's so big that you parked it badly because they're going at an angle because they're on such a rush, mate. I mean, it's such a rush. I can't even park straight, and I'm taking up two children's bays. And it's like, and then they just swan out, and you're like, what's like?
There's a special place in hell for somebody who takes up two parent-child
Yeah,
bays.
they just don't care.
Nobody is that bad of a driver. Oh, I don't know, actually.
Well, if some people, at least if they're straight and they're too far over, you're like, okay, you're a bad driver. If they're
Yeah.
just an angle, they're just swung in, right?
Oh, yeah, full on parking.
And this comes back to, I had a guest on previously, and we spoke about the return of the shopping trolley. And
Yeah.
you're aware of the phenomenon of kind of the way of determining if you're what kind of person you are if you take it back to your
Thomas has
own
mentioned this a
obligation.
number of times.
Yeah, right. But to me, that is a the kind of minuscule scale of this same thing. If you park well, and if you leave space, or if you don't just park next to someone just because you're going to get 10 paces closer, then you're a better person who either parks badly, parks where they shouldn't, or like parks right next to someone and doesn't let them in. Right. And do you know what? This is incredibly niche, this conversation. And I'm going to go one further. One of a hospital not too far from me in Southampton, whoever designed the parking bays made them a bit too small. So big enough for a car, but if you actually want to get out of the car, you can't do it because the parking bay, every car can park perfectly, and there's inches. And it does. I mean, it's nothing to do with me being a plus size gentleman. They're just too small. And I'm like, well, in that case as well, why get out? But that's what you're saying earlier, Ross, where, it's like if you park and someone parks next to you on your door side, but their door side's free, and then the next person, it drives me mad. You just make parking spaces bigger.
I think you have to now as well, because I think cars are bigger.
Yeah.
Car companies are all pushing mid-size SUVs, and I'm one of the holes that owns one, although my next one's electric, so
So
yay.
you're green. Yeah.
Well, no.
Green. That's the nickname.
I'm gonna club more seals just to counteract my car.
I
wanted to.
He already clubbed some.
I wanted to make the saving on my benefit in kind, so I chose an electric car. I've gone from 29 29% contribution down to 2. So,
Yeah.
essentially engineered a pay rise.
And now you can afford to go to
And now I can
Iceland
afford
and
to go seal clubbing
seal clubbing. Yeah.
every
Yeah.
weekend, not just every third weekend. So, great. But yeah, I mean, and let's face it, people are getting bigger as well. Like this isn't but actually, no, I guess it is kind of a bit fat shaming. I'm a larger man myself, but you do see a lot more fat people nowadays getting out of giant SUVs. So you kind of need to go American a bit and make the base. I mean, we're not driving bungalows like they do in America, but you could probably
Well,
get rid of one space in the row to make the rest of the spaces a little
yeah.
wider.
It's a
And you're
car
not going to lose
parks.
any money.
No, car parks need to evolve with the times. That's it. Like you say, we're a larger society now with larger
But there's
cars.
more cars as well. So
Oh,
I guess
just
that
in
goes
my
the other
street.
way.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. This is a slight tangent, but there's little things that give me a lot of joy. And I live in like a cul-de-sac, so a dead end, right?
Yep.
And every morning, because I live about a 10-minute walk from town, every morning people come down. They work in the local banks and stuff like that. They're down there nice and early to get whatever free parking is available down the road. I don't begrudge them from that. They generally park well. It's fine. But there's a bit of me that when I see him drive down after, like, when I'm coming back from walking the dog or taking the kid to school, and they're driving up again because there was nowhere to park, I get these butterflies in my stomach. I'm like, oh, was there nothing for you today? Cheapskate. I just really, it's one of the little things in life that gives me so much joy. Like, it's the same as when I see the like the traffic or the traffic warden outside of like a school. I'm like, there's parents who just rock up on a double yellow or the zigzags and don't care. Oh, there's someone there to stop you today, is there? Oh, you're not one, are you, Ross?
I have done it. Yeah.
Oh, you bad man. So there you know. Whoa, here you are. Oh, people without children parking in keep parent children bays and disabled ways. And you literally, the zigzag lines, which are £1,000 in some fun.
I don't park. I don't park on the zigzags.
Yeah.
There's a double yellow line section about the length of 2 cars, and the only reason it's there is because it's opposite someone's driveway where we all park to pick up our children. There's no reason for it to be there other than it's opposite somebody's driveway.
That's a pretty good reason. So this person can.
No, I'm not blocking I'm not blocking their driveway. It's the other side of it's the other side of the road to their driveway, and they can get in and out of it absolutely fine when there are people parked there. My rant is about car parks, not double yellow lines outside someone's house.
I've got a related tangent for you because our house is opposite a pub and our driveway is really tight. And despite the pub having a car park, there's 2 people who always park outside the pub right opposite our driveway. And there'll be space in the car park and they're still parking out there. And because I live in the sticks, every day I'm praying that one of the great tractors that comes past just completely wipes the car out in the process.
You know
Honestly,
what it is?
There's no reason for it.
You know what it is?
What?
Bays are too narrow.
Is that it?
I'd say you need to buy a tractor. Just take the side off it.
Yeah, it's tempting, honestly. Just to give
your benefit in kind will be 100%, but
bung the farmer a 50 quid or something, and just say just clip the car.
Just
buy a tank like Eddie Hall did.
Yeah. Eddie Hall is a tank.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologise for attacking you over the double yellow lines.
No, you've ruined it now. So that's it. We're done.
I was being polite. It's unforgivable.
Yeah, I was being polite.
Am I just too boring? So right. Well, first of all, right. What is the age? So I never really knew what the age was for parking in children's space, right? And it wasn't until I was in a Asda car park in London, and it said 12 years and under.
Yeah.
So the most I've broken the rules, or thought I had been for the last couple of years, is my lad's now 10, nearly 11, and I thought 8 is probably reasonable, but I'm still like, look, just crouch a little bit, and we get get out of the car. Turns out I didn't have to crouch at all because 12's up to 12 is perfectly acceptable. But to me, that seems too old. Like a 12-year-old's helping you carry bags. Like the idea is for a bigger doors, for getting car seats and all that kind of stuff in, and being able to have like the prams and buggies kind of to hand whilst you're doing stuff, right?
And it just stopped like toddlers just belting out into the middle of the road.
Exactly. Just making it a bit easier.
Etc.
I'm like, if you're 11, you're carrying that 12 pack of Fosters and you're taking it all the way to the car for me.
Fosters? Really?
It was I'm not a big luggage.
Is it for the 11-year-old?
Oh, it was for him, yeah. Carry your own damn Fosters. That's it. Shut them off while we're in the store, but as soon as we're out, as soon as we're out, that's all you got to carry it. No drinking in the car. But yeah, so I was quite happy. Well, I wasn't happy because that was my own little dangerous thing. Now I've got to wait like 2 years until I kind of can break the law again.
We changed our car at home. We had a Vauxhall Vectra before, and the thing's a freaking tank. But we swapped it. It's huge. I mean, not American huge, but for over here, massive. We swapped it for a B-Max, and the reason we went B-Max, sliding rear doors. So when the kids get out of the car, they're not like shoving and nudging the doors and smashing it into other people's cars. So in the event where the parent-child bays are filled with fucking assholes that haven't got their kids with them, or the ones that are almost as bad, they're the ones that park there, and there's both parents and the back of the car's full of kids, but only one parent gets out and goes in the fucking shop. But they've parked there because they're closer to the shop.
Yeah, unnecessary.
I've got my kids. Or they get out and go, I've got car seats. They'll think the kids are in there. It's fine. Off.
Off. Okay, so
heads.
Okay, so I have been known, and this is my moment. I have been known. Me, the wife, the kids. We're on the way back from somewhere. Just need to pop in, get a couple of bits. We're like, right, Chol Bay, nice touch, sorted. Who's getting out the car? Oh, no one's getting out the car. I'll just go then. The kid's in the car. There is a child of age enough to be there, right? I didn't know he wasn't going to get out of the car. But what I do, because I'm so
babysitting Bay, Geoff.
I'm babysitting. I'm so conscious about this. What I do for about kind of 20 paces is I'm like, I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. So it actually just looks like I'm leaving a child in the car. Yeah, Daddy will be back in a minute. Okay, all right, babe. Yeah, you stay. I'll be right there. My child's in the just telling everyone my kid's in the car. But it does look like they're probably just in there on their own because I'm just shouting, Daddy will be back in a minute. I don't even say Daddy. That sounds weird. But it's so I'm guilty of that one. I would admit that.
Wow.
I know. We've all got our dark sides.
We've all got dark secrets.
We can all be better people. You double yellows. Me with my child in the car but not getting them out.
I mean, my life is littered with hypocrisy. I'll complain about things and then immediately do it myself. So,
if it's convenient for you, right?
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not parking across 2 bays. I'm not a complete.
No.
But
no. I'm trying to think. Have I read that? No, and that's it. And that is the definition of just being completely selfish, isn't it? Just someone who doesn't care about anyone else, what they've got to do with it. And it's also people who, the same kind of people who will speed up, overtake you, make you hit your brakes just to get that one car ahead of you.
Oh, sorry, that's me.
I say,
yeah. I also slingshot roundabouts as well while we're admitting things.
But as soon as you get that electric motor, you'll be doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you have talk there 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And you know you can just go, yeah, I can do that, Spade.
I don't know what kind of chaotic madness I've let on this show. Look at this anarchy, anarchy everywhere.
If there's like 12 cars waiting to turn right on the roundabout outside of our work, the big roundabout, I'm going up the middle and like going around. So the people in the right hand lane, the people in the right hand lane, they'll go around, and instead of merging into the right hand lane as they come off the roundabout, like they fucking should, they'll immediately shift. They'll basically switch lanes in the middle of the roundabout.
Right.
And so I slingshot up the middle lane and go around into the left lane and stop people doing that. I'm a hero in some respects.
Well, I think you'll find the middle lane one day going straight across that roundabout.
It absolutely is. It's not meant for turning right at all. One day I'm going to get hit, and it's going to be their fault. Their fault.
I love those bits. One of the favorite things I saw recently was a guy speeding, up the kind of person. He's up everyone's kind of
fantastic sight, so good.
Just right up people's back, right? And then so what someone in front of him did was just like, this is a motorway, just slowed down to about 50. And then he'd been kind of undertaken, and then the person next to him didn't change their speed, so they're still going. That's it. So this guy's now buckled in, and then so what the person behind did was get just close enough that he couldn't then drop back and go and undertake both of them. And this guy was then just stuck doing 50, and I just
so good.
I just undertook all of them, just clapping with no hands on the wheel.
The M6 was for hours, but the clapping was worth it.
It was. I was like, little salute to them. Just a nice one. I think the person in the middle lane had no idea what was happening, but the two front and back totally did. But they're like small heroes. Yeah, if you can stop someone. It's also the whole merging. So I've just got down to drivers now, because
well, I mean, I guess it's the natural progression. Driving.
Yeah, which we've covered in the show before, and it's nice to have another hour to be able to do that. It just generally comes down to just people, and the fact I don't like many people, apparently, especially strangers. Not a big fan. The slightest thing will send me off.
Stranger danger is big.
Strange. Well, they probably think the same about me. So
I guess so.
If you want to talk about driving, then the worst crime above all the crimes is in middle lane. There is no crime worse.
Middle lane hoggers, they are the worst.
Yeah. That I was once described. It was once described to me that it's just people who are too afraid to drive, so they just stay in the same lane.
On the road. It's as simple as that.
They'll pick B as every answer on the chase. Straight down the middle.
Yeah. To be topical.
If they get me, they get me.
To be topical. Yeah, the Gareth Southgate of drivers. If you're football people. Ha ha.
Ha ha.
So by the time
jacket in the bath. Ha ha.
By the time by the time this goes out, the Euros will be long gone. England certainly would be long out of it. So everyone will be like, "What? I don't understand what he's talking about."
What are you talking about? We're going to win it, haven't we?
Gareth Southgate, he's been sacked.
Yeah, what's this idiot talking about?
I did see a brilliant video of some guys who left the match early the other night going, "Yeah, well, we'll just have to pick up over the next 2 years. And Southgate's gone, isn't he?" Because they left the game early, they just missed the entire thing. Brilliant.
I'll tell you what I've done.
That could have been one of my rants, to be fair, is people leaving football matches early. I mean, if your team's getting tanked 9-0, maybe, but if it's 1-0 and it's a bit edgy at the end, why are you leaving?
It's a good point.
Why are you leaving?
Who's your team, Ross?
Arsenal.
That's
very unpopular.
It's not unpopular, but I'm pretty. I'm pretty sure the Emirates has been leaving early for about the last 15 years, haven't they? So should be used to it.
How's Southampton doing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I support.
I'm not a Southampton fan, so I don't give a shit.
You're not okay.
Yeah,
Fair play.
I
Yeah,
just
I support Arsenal and my
That's-
hometown team, Ipswich.
good on Ipswich.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
done
go.
well, done well, doing
Everyone's
very
going to be
well.
rooting for them.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be
Everyone
very
except
nice
Norwich.
if we could stay up.
Stay up.
That would be good.
Right, we've kind of digressed. I mean, literally no one cares about football unless you park like. See how I did that?
Why I
Little
like
segue.
football so much.
Although I actually like
that was a
football,
Travis-worthy segue. That was.
It was terrible because I actually like football. So
Shit.
I've just called myself, yeah.
I mean, you do part like a child space using solo shopping ass.
The child was in the car. It wasn't my child, but
you're better than some. I had a child in the car.
Well, that's what I always say, right? When you drop
Somewhere.
your kid off at school, right? Is it kind of just a drop one, pick one? Like, does it have to be as long as the same amount of children are dropped off and picked up? It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, I can go along with that. Fine. Anyway,
So
moving
went
on.
really quiet. You got very uncomfortable. I think we found the line. No, right.
No,
so
no.
The theft of children is absolutely fine.
Not theft, swapping.
Mine are all too old to do it with. Mine are all too old.
Match attacks, but with real life kids.
Right.
I've got some spares in the boot. Do you want to have a look?
Daisy, year 2. I choose you. Right. No, that's.
I've got 2 of these twins. Do you want to swap one? This has gone a bit.
I'm looking for a 14-year-old boy who's good at football.
Right, we'll fix it in post. It's all good.
Or Jim will fix it in post. Right.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Anyway,
it's my podcast. I'll say what. No, wait. I'll delete what I want. That's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just make us look bad. It's fine. We used to.
All mine's been cut.
I suppose at some point I should probably talk about how I'd make this all better.
Well, funny you should say that, Russ. No, okay. So we've covered a wide range of topics.
We have.
Some of it has actually been about. Oh.
Did you? I obviously missed a little bit. Did you cover the absolute who drive Bentleys and Mercedes and park to do their shopping in the drop-off bay?
Oh, the drop-off bay.
We didn't cover the drop-off bay.
In the drop-off bay, and they park there for an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, if you will shop at Waitrose.
Do I? I'm not John.
No, that's...
I'd see it all. There was a woman unloading today, and when I popped into the Tesco's, and she had a nice white Merc parked up. She left her trolley by the back door while she went and put some rubbish in the bin, and it's all parked in the drop-off bay. I'm like, what? You haven't just driven there, and your shopping has magically appeared beside your car. You've gone in and shopped while you've been parked in a drop-off bay. I mean, what an absolute...
In my big Tesco's, the nice cars will go and park over in the middle of 2 bays.
Oh, yeah, that's another.
So no one can get close to them. And what you'll have is just the old. No, I'm going to be careful what I say, but probably coming out with a lot of
Werthers.
No, like scratch cards. No,
right.
And another pair of
Crocs.
I was trying to be delicate, but then I did just broaden everyone who wears Crocs and buys too many scratch cards. But yeah, they're
200 Lamberts, 12 number 7s, and Crocs with sweatpants tucked in their socks.
That's
give up on life pants, is what you mean.
Yeah, and most of them have got children, but still can't park in the children's bay because it's still too far.
Yeah. They just put their car through the front of the store and go, nah.
Yeah. I tell you what, this is very quick, very niche, but have you got a kind of 2-floor Tesco, big Tesco?
No.
No,
See, we've got.
I've been to one. It's a delight.
My mum took me on when I was 11. My mum took me on
Yeah.
holiday. We went to Big Tesco's and there was an escalator. And I tell you what, I mean, we
That's the day out round here. Honestly,
Oh, no,
you can't be throwing
can't you
2-floor
can't
Tesco's
get
in
me.
front of us.
You cannot get me started on people who go on a family outing to Tesco's. Granted, use the parent-child base. That's what they're there for. But two parents with 4 kids going into Tesco's, basically shouting at each other because it's so
Yeah.
fucking stressful. One parent stay at home with the kids.
yeah.
Other parent go on your own. Alternate it. It's quite a nice, relaxing way of just getting out of the house and being away from your family for like an hour.
Yes.
That was me and my ex, because it had to be that way. Apparently.
What? That you both went together?
Well, gotcha.
That's
Do you know
that's
what?
why
This
that's
is
why
how
she's your
sad-
ex.
That's well, it's part of the reason. But I mean, to the point that when my mum and dad would have our kids one night a month, so we could have a night out, we'd go to Tesco's. Why? I don't understand. Don't know why I did it.
Because you were young and in love, Simon.
There's a lot of darkness coming. I wasn't even young. I haven't even got that excuse.
Oh.
Just there's a lot of darkness coming out tonight. I don't know what it is.
I love that. That's the darkness. Is just a couple's date to Tesco's. It's I tell you, the times were hard. Or maybe we should do a relationship special
Oh, that.
No.
about the worst places you double dated. Or date. Right, Ross.
I've seen every castle in this country. I'm telling you, it's just.
What? Like on
Time
purpose.
gets around. That's the takeaway
Yeah.
I'm getting from that.
I got my
Let's
family.
go for a day out. What should we do? Let's go to a castle. Okay.
My family big on that. I'd rather go to Tesco's actually, because at least I know I'm going to get some nice snacks. Right, Russ. Okay, we've covered an awful lot, but as far as unless you're not allowed to end it, you have to come up with a way of making your local big Tesco markers better.
So the immediate side of anyone who parks in a parent-child bay who doesn't have their children with them is not an acceptable answer.
It's going to be difficult to enforce.
It would be, yeah. I mean, you could have someone on hand to shoot.
I guess the murder, yeah.
Yeah.
All trolley attendants are allowed to carry semi-automatic pistols, and if they spot somebody going back to a parent-child bay with no children, shoot on sight.
No, I think rather than doing
I'm
that,
sold.
the straps they use to keep the trolleys together.
Oh, just Indiana Jones them. Yeah. Okay, cool. I have thought of a more
equipment then.
I've thought of a more palatable option.
Okay.
So
because I was happy with that. Just
I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
I'll
please.
pull the trigger.
Yeah. Get a job. Just the job benefits are mental.
Yeah.
Go. What's the more palatable option?
The more palatable option is okay. Fine. Disabled bays. You're never gonna be able to cut them down because they'll be up in whatever limbs they've got left. So there's in my Tesco's you've got children's bays, road, disabled bays, road. Move one row of disabled bays behind the other disabled bays so they can all reverse into each other, and then have 2 full lengths of parent-child bays, and that's the solution. It's not.
I don't know if it is, because is that not just going to increase the number of bays at your local Tesco's rather than solve the problem?
I suppose so. So really, murder's the only option.
Yeah, I think so.
Like you could gate it like a private area, and only the tears of a child could open it.
But then you could just store them up in a little bottle or something. And
no, that's true. That's not going to work.
All you have to do is look into the eyes of a parent to know that they are a parent.
Yes.
And then check the back seats of the car to make sure there is a child there. Whether it's theirs or not is irrelevant.
That doesn't matter.
They have a child. It's like putting a dead body in the passenger seat of your car to use the carpool lane. This is what it is.
It's what it is.
But yeah, I think my palatable solution would be harder to enforce. But you do then have more bays available for actual parents.
I just want to throw just a wild card in there. I'm gonna think as I talk. It's just come to my mind, so it may not be perfect. But how's about saying to people, look, if you don't come to Tesco's with a child and you park in a child parent parking bay, that is fine. However, you will be designated a newborn baby for the entire journey around Tesco's.
Amazing.
That you have to, and then return at the end. Like, or
I don't think a newborn baby is going far enough.
Okay,
No,
toddler.
I think at least two toddlers.
An inquisitive toddler.
Yeah, that sweet spot 2.5 to 3-year-old.
Yeah, where
yes,
they
but
just
you also need a 5-year-old as well, though, to wind up the 3-year-old.
Oh yeah, you need two, and with one, and they have one toy.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
My other solution is there's a new Lidl. It's a little bit of a drive. I have to go from mine to Ravenswood. It's about a 15-minute drive. But the bays there are lovely and wide. Like they've really thought about their parking. There's a lot more EV chargers there as well. At my Tesco's, there's only 2.
Do you know why the bays are wider?
There's 4 bays.
Tesco's don't care about the environment or parents.
Because Lidl parks at
and Aldi, Lidl and Aldi turn round their customers in probably about half the time that Tesco's and Sainsbury's and
the Aldi at Martlesham. The Aldi at Martlesham, their bays are they're just as narrow as Tesco's, and they don't have many parent-child bays. But the Lidl, they've actually thought about it, and the bays are much bigger. Like the parent-child bays are like 2 parent-child bays at Tesco's, but the general parking spaces are much wider. So basically, the solution is I'm going to boycott Tesco's and just keep going to Lidl. I'm not going to be able to get everything that I could get in Tesco's in Lidl, but it, I'll just have to live without it. Sun cream, who needs it?
Do you know what I love about this episode is it's gone from like the anger at the parking to some a medley of topics in the middle to now it's basically like a community centre meeting of the best parking spaces are actually in Lidl, right? No, Tesco's are out. I'm boycotting Tesco's. Aldi, no, don't even talk to me about Aldi. I'm going to Lidl. It's like, right, meeting adjourned.
That's it.
The next topic: why is Mrs. Potts keeping her dirty knickers outside again? Because she's a dirty old hag. Okay, I think somewhere in there, maybe even like a cluster of many. Yeah, there's from boycotting to murder is
there was a cluster something in there.
Yeah,
you can take a wide sweeping approach and have, like cherry pick the best parts of all the solutions.
That's it. And
so
we'll come up with
wider spots, kill the arse, boycott Tesco's.
And what we'll do is we'll get them all written down, and then we'll just write to Tesco's. Yeah, Mr. Dave Tesco. It says Dave Tesco.
Dave Tesco.
We'll send it to Dave Tesco, and we're like, Dave Tesco. We've got some points we'd like to make.
Yeah, put your crumpets down and give this a read, mate. I don't know. Don't know if it's...
Dave Tesco's and his crumpets.
Yeah.
He's a big friend of John Warburton, obviously.
Yeah.
Dave,
that's it.
Yeah. And Yes, and Stephen
Fantastic.
Coca-Cola. Okay, right. Now this is a
Stephen.
Okay, this is a two-parter. So the ending, we're going to do a little bit of a quickly remind everybody where we can find the Who Takes the Socks Off podcast, because
Sure thing.
anyone who doesn't after this, anyone who doesn't come on and just find out what you guys can do in your own time is mental. Like they just why would they not? So come on, here's with your socials and where you can be found.
So we're part of the Channel 84 podcast network. So you can find us on the website channel84.co.uk. You'll find our bios and all the links to our socials on there. If you want to just go on the socials and find us, it's Who Takes the Socks Off on pretty much all of them. Twitter, I think, is slightly different. It's Who Takes Socks Off, because I don't know why. Too long, probably. There's, I know, I think it was too long. This is before Elon.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was,
as it were. Pre-long. Yeah, but what, Facebook, X, Instagram, Good Pods, Blue Sky,
Threads.
X, Twitter, Threads.
The only one that really gets any real attention is X, Twitter, because that's
the rest are supplementary. And yeah, the podcast is available on all good streaming platforms, maybe even the ones. Yeah, look, Who Takes the Socks Off on Linktree as well. We're on there, so that we're basically everywhere that Simon could
everywhere
be asked
you
to sign
look.
us up to.
That's it.
Yeah, everywhere you look,
you might even find a freaking QR code with a purple sock on it somewhere.
Oh.
We're even on YouTube.
Oh Christ, YouTube! Here we go.
We are on YouTube, and we've got a Ko-Fi page as well. If anyone feels like our ramblings are worth paying for.
Well, I'll certainly put so you've got Linktree, haven't you? So I'll put the Linktree in the bio, and anything that's missing from there, I will put in the bio of both episodes. Because what we're going to do now is seamlessly, I'm going to use the same intro from what we did earlier, and this will be like, "Hey guys, stay tuned for part 2, where Simon makes." I'm going to point to Simon, and you're going to say,
"Oh, you mean we're not going to do like a?" We're going to do that. Like Wayne's World.
I don't know how to do that on an audio-only podcast.
Fair enough. Well, I just did, I guess.
Yeah, we just did it. Catch us in a minute.